Well, a good day to you, wherever you happen to be, whatever happen to be the time where you are. We know we have listeners across the United States and around the world. It is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. It is your show. I'm Jerry Usher, along with Debbie Georgiani. Our original producer, Rich Jesse, is in for Ace McKay today. And then we've got Matt Gabinski on the phones. Jeff Burson is watching social media. And Debbie, we're going to take a little bit of a lighter approach going into the weekend.
Yeah, I like that. And we're asking the question. You'll see how it weaves into our faith lives. Well, maybe. Well, no, it's a stretch, but we'll somehow weave it into our spiritual lives. We're asking the question, what snacks or treats did you used to keep in your desk drawer or at your office, or do you currently have a desk drawer right now? You're working, and what snacks or treats do you keep, or candy do you keep at your office in your desk drawer? I have a funny story to tell about this, Jerry. When I was a youth minister many years ago, I'll share the story about my office at the parish. It was hilarious, and so you'll get a kick out of this. But we want to ask the question, what snacks do you keep in your desk drawer or office, or did you keep? We'd like to know. We want the details. Yes, we're being nosy now. We want to know the details. What kind of candy or snacks? Maybe we'll get some good ideas. Don't get started with your weekend yet. Here is the number, 833-288-3986.
Well, our producer today, Rich Jesse, said that the team at EWTN just polished off a bowl full of Almond Joy in the office, probably in a little area where everybody can get to it. That's what I used to do when I was at Catholic Answers. We had a little table outside down the radio hall, we called it, because all the radio people had their offices down that hall. And I always stocked that with the little minis, the mini Milky Ways, mini Snickers, Twix, and things like that. Mm-hmm. So those are always a favorite of mine. But right now, I am on a pistachio kick, actually. So
that's Sicilian. Did you know that?
I did not know that,
yes,
no.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm an honorary Sicilian for the
You
day.
are. Pistachios are big in Sicily. Yeah,
nice.
Good for you. So what does that mean? Do you do the flavored pistachios?
I do, yeah. Chili roasted, barbecue, sea salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry now. Take Two, family. What about you? 833-288-3986. If you're not working any longer, you're retired, did you used to keep a stash of something in your drawer, or did you put it out publicly, a place where everybody could come by and help themselves? And it doesn't have to be candy necessarily. Like I said, with me, it's pistachios. I also like those little pickle chips that come in the foil pouch, and you can buy them. I first got them in an airport, and I really like them. So I like those kinds of things as well.
Very cool. So we want to hear from you. What snacks do you keep in your desk drawer or office, or even at home out on the kitchen table? We'd like to hear from you. We just want to get to know each other better, and you'll see how it weaves into our spirituality. Actually, I do know a youth minister that always had lifesavers, different flavors of lifesavers, and they would relate that to our faith lives, right? So it's very interesting how candy can represent things that are going on in our life. So we want to hear from you. Here is the number, 833-288-3986. This is your show. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. Don't get started with your weekend yet. We need your help. So I want to share, Jerry, if I can. This is kind of funny. It makes me think of one of the pastors that I worked for. I worked for many pastors in 25 years at the parish level. But I decided, I don't know why I did this, but I went to Costco. Do you know how you get that gigantic bag of different candy and Twizzlers and Skittles and everything? And I filled, and I remember it vividly, the right side of my desk at the bottom of the office. I filled it with candy. Okay. And so people would come into my office for a meeting or to talk about religious education or the catechists or the pastor and the priests and clergy. And they figured out that I had this gigantic drawer full of candy that I used to have to lock my office because they would come in during the day and just help themselves. And then my pastor said to me, my dog, he had a beautiful dog named Hope. Hope was so beautiful. Hope used to pray. Hope was amazing. And Hope used to come into my office and get to that candy drawer. So he made me have a separate drawer just for Hope with doggy treats. So my office was like a vending machine. Let's just put it that way.
All he needed was a dog named Pray and a dog named Don't Worry. Then he would have Pray, Hope, and Don't Worry.
Padre Pio, yeah.
Come on, Take Two family. Yeah. It's a Friday, a little bit of a lighthearted topic. We cover everything in life. That's what we try and do, and this isn't, it's an aspect of our lives. What are you still working? Do you keep some treats in your drawer or out for people to other people to get access to? Maybe you're not working anymore. What about at home? What do you like to turn to? When it's maybe like 3 o'clock and you're saying, you know what, got about 3 hours till dinner. I really need something right now. Do you go the healthy route? Do you mind going with the candy? Do you choose a piece of fruit, maybe something like that?
You can't keep fruit in your desk drawer, though.
Well, I meant at home, with that.
At
or
home.
You can keep dried fruit in your...
Yeah, dried fruit. You could do dried fruit. That's true. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend, putting like grapes or something in your office.
No. 833-288-EWTN. Matt Gubensky waiting to take your call and screen you and get you up on the board so Debbie and I can get to you on the program. 833-288-3986.
And Jerry, I am wearing my St. Vincent de Paul golf cap for our viewers on YouTube and Facebook. We're waving to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm wearing it on purpose because you probably, if you're part of the St. Vincent de Paul group, you probably got the emails saying that because of the excessive heat and the temperatures around the country, people are really hurting. And St. Vincent de Paul was asking for folks to step up. And sometimes we just, we forget. We get on with our lives and we forget. And so I'm wearing the ball cap as a reminder to everyone. Please maybe check in with your local St. Vincent de Paul and see what they need. I know they need some food and stuff like that. They're always in need of that. And yeah, it's just important. I just believe in to constantly remind all of us because we're on busy schedules, right? We're on busy schedules. And Jerry, may I make a suggestion with your new pistachio addiction that you've got going, which I'm very happy. I got to share with you some recipes. You'll get a kick out of some of the things that you can do with pistachios. Put them in the refrigerator. There's my suggestion.
Oh, okay.
They're excellent cold.
Wonderful. Well, some calls are on the board already, but a couple lines still open. What are your go-to snacks? You keep them in your desk drawer at work or on the counter at home? 833-288-3986.
Hi, I'm Ace McKay, your host for this week's Catholics Coast to Coast, where we like to dive into Podcast Central and see what conversations are happening. And you can take us with you wherever you go at EWTNradio.net. And this week, we're talking tattoos and veganism, learning to lead people towards God by leading like Mary, and the great adventures of St. Ignatius of Loyola. So join me for Catholics Coast to Coast, Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
This is Debbie Georgiani. If you missed part of today's show, catch the encore tonight at midnight Eastern or anytime at EWTN Podcast Central. Visit us at EWTN.com/radio/podcasts.
This is EWTN, Catholic Radio.
EWTN Global Catholic Network is the largest religious media network in the world. 11 global TV channels, English and Spanish radio networks with over 500 AM and FM radio affiliates, one of the largest Catholic websites in the world, dozens of podcasts every week, social media, electronic and print news services, and EWTN Publishing. EWTN is the Global Catholic Network. For more about EWTN, visit EWTN.com.
This is Deacon Jeff Drzymski. The Catholic Cafe is a great destination for men to share experiences and strengthen their faith. Sunday morning, 10:30 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
A lighter show today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie heading into the weekend. We're asking the question, what snacks or treats or candy do you have hidden away just for you that you can reach into your desk drawer, or maybe they're in plain view. You put them out in the kitchen, and then before you know it, everybody's eaten everything, and you got to go back to the store to buy more to to refill that bowl that sits. That's what happens here in my home. I put something out, and Marty is quickly gobbling it up, and then I got to go back to the store. So I don't put anything out. I hide everything. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, before we get to the phones, Jerry, it's Friday. You know, I love Fridays. Let's talk about the rosary. EWTN Radio brings you the most holy rosary twice each day for over 25 years. Tune in every morning at 5:30 Eastern Time for Mother Angelica, and every evening at 9:30 Eastern Time for Father Benedict Rochelle, only on EWTN Radio.
Okay, we're going to start taking your calls now. 833-288-3986. Tina in Denver got through first and gets to go up first here, listening on the EWTN app. Hello, Tina. Hi, Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine now, yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I just drink a lot of really cool water. I think some of the best remedies are those simple things that God gave us. Mm-hmm. And it really is energizing. I don't know if people understand how energizing water can be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you're feeling hungry, you're thirsty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's the first thing they tell you when you go to the gym, Tina. Did you know that, Jerry? The first thing they tell you is when you're hungry, drink water because you're probably thirsty, not hungry. And Tina, I just have to ask you this question because Jerry and I, we love stuff like this. What is cool about your water? Like, what do you do? Do you doctor it up or do you buy it that way?
No, it's cool room temperature.
Oh, okay.
But I do put Propel in it. I have some heart issues, and living in Denver, I guess it's like the #1 blood clot place in the world. So my doctor said that we need to have electrolytes. You could be drinking water all day long and still be dehydrated. So I add some electrolytes to the water.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Is that too much information?
No, not at all. Not at all. We're so glad that you called. So about how many bottles of water would you drink a day? Let's just say the 16.9 ounce bottles are typically the size. How many? You know?
Oh, well, I have one of those big water bottles.
Oh, that helps.
And I have about 3 of those a day.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I am so bad about that.
What about drinking water or keeping a bottle?
Yeah. Even when I lived in the desert area, I'd get up to 110, 115 outside, and we had the air conditioning inside. But, I just don't think about drinking water. And then when I do, I go, wow, why aren't I doing this more? So, Tina, you've really, you may have inspired me to go back to drinking more water.
Well, yeah, Tina, you probably know this living in Denver, Mile High. Tina, did you read the latest study about folks that live in Jerry's got a bottle of water right now he's drinking from. See,
Cheers.
Tina, you inspired him
good
to
job.
Yeah. But Tina, did you hear this study? Because I just heard it recently that people are walking around very dehydrated. I just read the study. Did you read that?
No, I just take it right from my doctor, and I have a blood clotting disorder, so I have to be on blood thinners forever. But, he just said Denver's #1 blood clot place because people don't drink enough water, and blood clots are serious business.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie will add you to our prayer book, Tina. Be assured of that, and the whole Take Two family around the world will be praying for you. Yeah. We want you around for a long time. You're part of the Take Two family, and we care. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Tina.
And also, could you pray for my daughter, Katie?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We put Katie and you in the book, your whole family. Okay, Tina?
Okay, thank you.
All right. God bless. Have a great weekend.
And also, too, I have the prayer book out. The Take Two family has weighed in from yesterday when Susan called in and shared with us the news about Paul from Dedham, Massachusetts, that had passed, who's part of the Take Two family. So prayers are already being prayed for Paul and his family, so in the repose of his soul. So see how the Take Two family comes together, and they're praying. And internationally, by the way, we have folks over in Portugal praying right now.
Oh, good. Praise God. All right, we're going to move on here. 833-288-3986. Are you still in the workforce? If so, we all keep something kind of stashed away in that desk drawer. Maybe you put it out in a bowl for other people to help themselves, maybe even out in the hallway, so it's very accessible to everyone. If you're no longer in the workplace, but you keep some kind of snacks at home, you got something that you go to when you need a little bit of a midday pick-me-up, what do you turn to? Tina, it was water. Okay, that's very interesting. What about you? 833-288-3986. We'll go to Sherry in Parkersburg, West Virginia. First-time caller today. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, how are you?
Great. So happy that you called.
Yes. My go-to actually is old-fashioned pink peppermint lozenges. I don't know if you guys remember those. They were old. Old people had them. Now I'm old and I have them. And I put them out on the countertop, and everybody, even the kids, love them. So they're just out there.
Are you talking about the red and white striped ones?
No, these are the solid pink.
Wait a minute. I want those. That sounds good. Where do you get those?
Walmart. Walmart has them.
Oh.
They have everything. Yeah, they have a big candy display, like up where you check out.
Mm-hmm.
At least around here they do. And these are in a bag down on one of the shelves. And they have those circus peanuts, and they have, all those old-fashioned. They have lemon drops, gum drops, you name it. All the old-fashioned stuff. Yeah,
do you know what that?
Cool.
Yeah, you know what that makes me think of, Jerry and Sherry? Those buttermints. Remember those buttermints we used to get at yes, I love those. Or the restaurants, they used to have them at the at the entrance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have those, but they do. These are those brown pink, they call them lozenges. I don't know why they call them that.
Okay.
But they're really good. And just grab like 3 or 4 on them and go about your day and go back and get a couple more later. I mean, it's really cool. I mean,
sounds great.
I like them. Yeah,
they're
good.
Yeah.
Nice. And no calories, right? No calories?
Right. I don't know the calories.
Okay.
But I do know that it makes you drink more water.
There you go. Good.
So,
wow. Thanks, Sherry. Yeah, I hope you have a blessed weekend. Thanks for being a first-time caller today. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, call us again, Sherry, okay?
Go ahead. You had something else quick?
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Good. We're off to a great start here. Getting some great ideas. Drink more water and eat pink peppermints.
Yeah, pink peppermints. Can I ask you a question? Matt Gabinski just sent a note over about Candace that called. Would you explain to me in 1965 what happened? That's the year I was born. I don't understand. So I'm not quite sure what that means.
I'm not sure how it works either. Just as Candace called and said in 1965, the U.S. Senate started a tradition of a candy desk. And a senator is assigned to it every 2 years. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So they get the candy desk? I want that job. How do I get that job?
You don't want that job.
That is really cool. Oh, yeah. And then we're just getting the internet, the site to show what that means. Wow, I'm going to look into that after. That's the year I was born. Okay, I just gave my age away. We have some open phone lines if you would like to share the candy dish or the snack that you go to or that you share with your coworkers or your family or your friends or at the parish. We had one pastor who and a couple nuns that used to really stuff their desk drawer with Oreo cookies. I remember that too.
Yeah. I love
that was
Oreos.
great.
Yeah.
I love Oreo cookies. Okay.
Me too. All right, we're going to go back to the phones here. 833-288-3986. Help us head into the weekend on a really great note on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We have another first-time caller from North Dakota. Mildred is listening on Real Presence Radio. Hello, Mildred. Welcome. Hi, Mildred. You've got to turn your radio down, please. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Mildred. Welcome.
Welcome. How you doing?
Doing great. Happy that you called.
Thank you.
So what do you turn to? What do you go to?
Okay, for the snack, I like to keep cashew in water. And the water, I put some raspberry, blueberry, all the berries inside the water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then to keep you hydrated, instead of dehydrating, the fruit keep you hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mildred, we know what North Dakota winters are like. I'm not from experience, but we hear about how cold. But how are the summers? Do you get really hot? Do you have really high temperature?
It get hot. Yes.
Yeah.
It get real hot.
Yeah. So you got air conditioning where you work?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Well, Mildred, I have to tell you something. You and I would get along great because I absolutely love cashews. It is one of the things that I mean, it's actually a problem for me, Mildred, because I can eat a whole bag of cashews.
Me too.
Yeah. There's something about cashews. So you and I would get along great. We would sit there and munch on cashews all day long.
Yes, we will. I could do the saucy one. I could do the one with roasted salt. I could do the one with the honey.
Mm-hmm.
I could do the one without no honey. I could do the one plain.
Right.
However it comes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Do they season cashews like they do pistachios, like different flavors?
And walnut. You can get them.
Yeah,
but
if you go to Walmart. If you go to Walmart, you can go get them. If you make it yourself, you could season yourself. You could do it yourself too, and just get it from the bag and season it yourself and put it in the oven. Let it crispy for a minute and then eat it. Right. It's better like that too.
Right.
Nice.
But wouldn't you agree, Mildred, that even just very plain raw cashews, they're so sweet. They have a great aftertaste.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
they do. Cause me, I'm a vegan. I don't eat no meat, so I eat cashew, and then
Yeah, for your protein. Mm-hmm.
For my protein, yes, ma'am.
Yep.
And I cook it, and I cook it with my chickpeas, and then do my sauce with it to eat with my with my food.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love the way you think, Mildred. You're beautiful. Okay, so this was your first time
Thank
calling.
you.
Will you call us again, please?
Yes, I will. I
Okay.
will.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mildred.
Thank you. You're welcome anytime.
Have a blessed day. Yeah.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Now there is a little bit of a problem with cashews. I understand it has if I've got all the nuts and different nutritional value of everything, the cashews is the highest in the calories, I believe, and the fat content. So you have to be careful. That's why I love it so much. I love cashews. I love all nuts. I tell you, my husband is big on walnuts, and they're really good for your brain and your heart. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
But I'm looking on. We got a link sent to us here. Who sent that over? Not Jeff. Rich. Rich, who's producing today, sent over a link to the candy desk, the Senate candy desk, and it's right now starting this year. Todd Young from Indiana is a senator, and he is responsible for the candy in the Senate right now.
I wonder what kind of candy they have. Does it say what kind they get?
There's a big article here, but then they have the list, So
They
I see
have the
Rick
list of candy?
Santorum was on there back in the 1990s, and
Wow.
yeah, Slade Gordon, wow, from Washington. I knew him when I was growing up.
So that's part of the perks of serving our.
One of the many positives about being in politics.
But yeah, really. Okay, we do have an open phone line. This is actually turning into a really good discussion and great ideas and coming together as the Take Two family. You guys are awesome. So join us, 833-288-3986. I like doing topics like this when we get new callers because we're growing the family, and that's always wonderful. So let's hear what Alan has to say. Okay, Jerry, in Ontario, Canada, on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jerry. How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm on a day off. I usually get Fridays off. I drive truck, and I go down into the U.S., like Michigan, stop at Kentucky. I go all the way around the Carolinas and then back, well, through Port Huron, Michigan, and then back through Buffalo. So I listen to you all the time.
Oh,
it's almost like a night visit.
Yeah, if you are a regular listener, Alan, you know how much we love the truck drivers. We have, we love everybody, but we have certain groups of people. Debbie likes the nurses and the teachers, and we love, first responders and law enforcement and truck drivers, and we really, really appreciate what you're doing for everybody. You help keep our quality of life up. Tell you what, Alan, if you can hold for just a second, we've got an unmovable break here, but we want to hear what your go-to snacks are, especially in your truck as you're going on down the highway there. So Alan in Ontario, hang on just for a second. And we've got Vicki in Dallas and Maria in Buffalo. And Debbie, we've got a couple open phone lines here. Certainly want to fill those up and get a great conversation going, or continuing a great conversation going into the weekend.
That is true. We love these conversations that we have on Take Two, and we hope you join us at 833-288-3986. And on the other side of the break, we'll pick up where we left off with Alan and the others. And this is just a great way to go into the weekend. I love the Take Two family. Keep calling. We'll be right back.
The most original Catholic content is on EWTN Radio.
Hey, this is Michael O'Neill, the Miracle Hunter. This week we discuss Our Lady of the Snows with Father Salvador Gonzalez. Also, we speak with Father David LaPuma about Venerable Nelson Baker.
The Miracle Hunter with Michael O'Neill. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 Eastern, on EWTN Radio.
A special item on EWTNRC.com this month is the sterling silver Saint Benedict medal and crucifix dual necklace. The Benedictine cross is one of the Church's most powerful sacramentals of divine protection against evil. Designed exclusively for EWTN, this set is a wonderful way to share the graces of God with your loved ones. To order, go to EWTNRC.com and search for item number S7718.
Stand Tall is now offering advanced group coaching sessions with master coaches highly trained in life skills. Visit standtalltoday.com and register for one of our upcoming group coaching events. These virtual opportunities are designed to take you to the next level of life in your relationships, career, faith walk, and so much more. Space is limited, so hurry to standtalltoday.com. That's standtalltoday.com.
Open Line Tuesday.
EWTN News Nightly.
Light of the East.
Catholic Answers Live.
No one does Catholic radio like EWTN.
Hi, this is Dr. David Anders. Are you curious about the Catholic faith and need answers? Call to Communion is the show for you. Today at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
About if you're in the workforce still and you got a desk or an office, a cubicle, do you keep any kind of snacks for yourself to share with others? What do you do at home? Maybe you're retired, maybe you are just a stay-at-home man or woman, and we just want to know today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie if you have any go-to snacks, the healthy stuff, the not so healthy stuff, the water, things like that. 833-288-3986. We'll go back to Alan in Ontario. Alan, thank you for your patience in holding during the break there, and go right ahead.
Okay, I'll start out my day. My break isn't until 8 hours. I like to get most of my drive in for the day. So what I'll do, I'll grab a box of mini wheats. The shredded wheat, the tiny bite-sized ones. Mm-hmm. You can get brown sugar frosting and that. I'll take that along and coffee. I haven't really got on the water check yet, but I don't know, the coffee seems to do the trick. And I don't know, I've done pistachios and cashews as well. I don't know, I can do that, but I don't know, the mini wheats, they really help. They satisfy. I'm not talking eat the whole box, a few nibbles here and there going down the road with the coffee. And then I have a fridge in there too, so I have Mr. Freezies and that, and Pops, and sometimes I'll come to a stoplight, there'll be somebody out there with a sign hungry or just sweating in a hot day. I'll I'll pull the brakes if I'm close enough. I'll grab I'll pop a couple freezies. There you go, guy, or stay cool.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Bless you for that.
Yeah.
But,
Alan, I just want to say thank you so much for the work that you do. I agree with Jerry. Something that you may or may not know, I don't know how long you've been listening to Take Two, and Jerry remembers this because we've always kept books of, all our calls from the very beginning when we started Take Two in 2015. It was the truckers that first embraced Take Two. It was the truckers. We got more messages from all the truckers from around the country and in Canada who said, thank you so much. We love traveling with you and keep going. We love the platform. And so I just want to say we that's why we love the truckers so very much. You guys embraced Take Two way back in 2015.
Oh, we love you guys too. It's great. Actually, our boss bought the whole fleet. Sirius radios, and
nice.
Way back when Mother Angelica was on, I used to, my other job, make it a point to take a break to listen to her. She has so much insight, and funny, gotta have that sense of humor too. But anyway, I got into the rest of the shows and that, and I'm sure everybody else listens to it on that too. Mm-hmm. I listen to you all the time, and I'm saying, it's I know you.
Well, we feel the same way, Alan. Yeah.
I'm celebrating now my, I went to confession. I haven't been back to, for 12 years. So I had my first confession and Mass today. I finally got the time and that to do it.
Praise God.
Wow.
I'm happy for that. Long time. I feel so much more relieved and,
Mm-hmm. You're free.
Everything. So
you're free, Alan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Just for a day, I guess. Well, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love you guys. All you EWTN there. You're all great. You have all great insight, and I've learned a lot from you.
Wow.
And these are the reason why I come back. Just insight, confessions. Talking about that, and it's great. Gets me right at the heart.
Oh. Well, congratulations. Welcome back home. Sounds like you've always kind of been a man of faith, but maybe just set aside going to Mass and confession for a while. But now that you've done it, Alan, you are on a beautiful new path. As they say, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And we'll pray for you, that the Holy Spirit just gives you strength and encouragement. And as you're out there traveling around on the roads, you find opportunities. I know that a lot of truckers have the same situation. They need to find churches to go to Mass that fit their schedules and confessions and things like that. So we'll ask our guardian angels to go to your guardian angel and help you out on that. Okay, Alan?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, God bless you.
May God bless you too. I pray for you every day anyway, but may God bless you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You as well, sir. Take care and safe traveling, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
God bless.
Okay, call us again. We always stay in touch, and we like pictures. You can always email us, take2@EWTN.com. I love pictures.
I told you this on the phone last night, Debbie. I wanted to give a shout out to our good friend Bishop Joseph Coffey. He is with the Archdiocese for the Military Services. Mm-hmm. Hello, Your Excellency, if you're listening. He says he listens almost every day because he drives from one area to another. Right. And we're going to be taping a show with him for a future air date when we're going to be off the air for a live show. So just wanted to give a shout out. He was my seminary classmate at St. Charles Borromeo in Second Theology a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But it's just so great to see how God has worked in his life and ministry.
Didn't you play basketball together?
We did. We were on the same team, and I'm no dummy. I know how to feed the big guy, I know where my bread is buttered.
He was better at basketball than you were?
He was just our center, I think. He's about 6', 6'2", I think.
Wow. Oh, very cool. Well, Bishop, if you're listening, we love you. Thank you so much for being such a great shepherd, and we appreciate your support of Take Two. Yes, and I can't wait for the interview. That'll be wonderful. We do have an open phone line, so please call us at 833-288-3986. Tell us the snacks, the treats, the water, the drinks, anything that you find that is very special that you keep at work or at home. We like the tips and that could help us. The water, our first caller, that I thought that was brilliant, to really up our water, especially during this excessive heat temperatures and the climate that we're all enduring. It's tough. It really is. And it comes upon us very quickly, right, Jerry? So we don't think about we got to up our water level.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I just thought of another one that I like to go to. The Dukes, the shorty sausages, the little... You're not familiar with them?
No, what is
They're
that?
the smoked shorty sausages, DUKE''S, Dukes.
Nice.
And I first got them in an airport when I saw them because my dog's name is Duke, although I spell it D-U-C. I think that would be sort of like a French spelling. But I just got some of those, and my Duke likes those Dukes a lot.
Isn't that a human food, though, not a dog treat?
It is, yeah. I don't give him too many.
You don't?
He doesn't like the spicy ones.
Is it like a pepperoni type thing?
Yeah, it'd be like that. They're about 3 or 4 inches long.
Oh wow! Do you have to keep them refrigerated?
No, you don't actually.
Oh wow! So there's another thing you can keep in your desk, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's hear what Vicki has to say. And Vicki is in the great state of Texas, in Dallas, on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Vicki.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I was very much a sweet juice person, but now that we're aging, I'm more like...
Vicki, we're having a little bit of tough time hearing you. If you're on a hands-free or something, you're just not...
Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better. Bless you. Thanks.
Oh, sorry about that. I used to have a very sweet tooth, and now I'm replacing it with fruit and vegetables. So used to carry gum and chocolate or mint, but now I just make sure that I drink water first thing in the morning, drink water before I go to bed, and I can make me a smoothie with fruit or just carry cantaloupe or watermelon with me.
Wow, how healthy.
Well, you mentioned that word, chocolate. That's a problem, Vicki. I would have a hard time giving up any chocolate, but putting it into a smoothie, that I could do. Right?
Yeah. I've been prompted by the Holy Spirit for the last 2 years to fast. I have not been able to. I've been trying to start, and so I did it the first year in the pandemic, but I didn't do my 40 days. I think I made it to 20-some days, and I know the Lord keeps asking me and trying to probably, grace me with some virtues that I need, so I've been trying to get started. So today's Friday, and I'm just doing water and bread, and we'll see how it goes and how long I last.
Oh, well, we'll pray for you, Vicki. And, I'm glad you brought that up. Debbie talks a lot about this, the importance of fasting. And we know in the scripture, Jesus tells his disciples, some demons are only driven out by prayer and fasting. And I was talking about this at our men's group this last Wednesday. So it's interesting you brought it up. I made the comment, Debbie and Vicki, I think fasting is neglected to a large extent. I mean, we think about, we got the 3 things, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. But I think fasting gets kind of left out in a lot of people's lives.
It does.
It's the hardest thing, especially here in America. Like when I grew up in Mexico, you don't have the snacking. You have your big breakfast or your big main meal, and then a little bit of before you go to bed. The schedule and the feeding in Mexico is different. Here you're eating all the time, and it's very difficult to fast.
Right. Well, we normally, Vicki, when we do the show and we talk about fasting, we also talk about fasting from other things, like even from getting away from your gadgets, like the computer or your phone, or getting away from the TV set, or stopping eating after a certain time or something of that nature. So there's other things you can do as a form of fasting to offer that to God, to repair things, to help heal things in the world and with our own souls. And I agree with Jerry. Fasting is sometimes overlooked. They don't realize people don't realize the power of fasting and how God honors fasting. So Vicki, I agree with Jerry. I just put you in the prayer book. We'll be praying for you as you go through this. Yeah.
Thank you. I might have gotten a little bit of grace. I woke up and I saw my husband. In my dream, I was dreaming, so it's a double dream.
Uh-huh. Well, as you fast, Vicki, there are a lot of intentions. I'm sure you have prayer intentions, but please, if you would be so kind, keep the Take Two show team and the whole Take Two family around the world in your prayers. Would you do that?
What is that?
If you would pray for the Take Two family, all of our listeners around the world. You're part of that family.
I would definitely, yeah. I'm praying for the whole world. I watched that movie. That's the
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom, yeah, and it's in my mind all the time. I'm just thinking of the people in slavery, the children in slavery.
Yes, yeah, I know. And the souls in purgatory. We always remember those who have passed. We can't be sure that they have made it straight to the beatific vision. So we pray for the souls in purgatory. And so, Vicki, you are awesome. Keep it up, and we'll be praying.
Yeah, thanks, Vicki, for the call. Have a blessed weekend. Mm-hmm. We have more calls that we're going to get to. Let me go over and check social media.
And we have social media coming in. We have emails as well. You guys are sending pictures in. Some of you are sending pictures in of your family. We love that. And then I love how you put in the email, this is, look to the one to the right, and this is my daughter, my grandchildren. I think that is so beautiful. Thanks for taking us into your families. We love that. And if we could get a couple dinner invitations, that would be even better. Okay. Just thought I'd throw that in.
We have a couple of phone lines open. Help us finish strong here. Get on board on the show today, 833-288-3986, talking about snacks, treats, go-tos. What do you like? Do you have that sweet tooth like Vicki does? She also mentioned how healthy she eats, fruits and vegetables. At the office, do you have a drawer full of stuff? Do you put maybe a bowl full of things in the common cafeteria or on a table out in the hallway like I used to do, or even at home? What about with your kids too? When your kids come to you 12 times a day and say, "Mommy, I'm hungry," what kind of things do you give them? 833-288-3986.
You cracked me up, Jerry, when you just said that. I thought of my mom, my late mother, Connie. We used to say that all the time. We used to say, "Mom, do we have any food?" She'd say, "Go take a walk around the block."
Yeah, well, my mom used to say, "Go drink a glass of water."
Yeah. I know, that was so funny. Things have definitely changed, right? Definitely changed in the world. Okay, we want to hear from you. Phone lines are ringing again. You guys are awesome. You seem to like this topic as we head into the weekend. So let's hear what Abraham has to say, driving through Kansas, listening on the iHeartRadio app. Hello, Abraham.
Hello. How you all doing today?
Doing great. Good to hear from you again.
Hey. I'm now calling in response to the previous truck driver that was calling in earlier. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I heard correctly or not, but one of the things that I use to get to go find mass on Sundays is masstimes.org. Mm-hmm. I think it is. Well, you put in the address of where you're at, and it'll find you the nearest churches, and then you can get times where the services are and all that. And I find that quite helpful for me. And I've gotten to the point where now I go to a church and I take pictures of the outside. I take a couple of pictures of the inside of the church sanctuary, and then I'll put them on Facebook and make a comment or two.
Wow.
And so that's how I try to meet my obligation for Sunday Mass whenever I'm out on the road. But as far as snacks is concerned, I use sunflower seeds, I use pistachios, and I don't know exactly where. I think it was up in Washington where I found the flavored ones, some peppered pistachios and jalapeno pistachios and chili pistachios, and those have turned out to be quite a thing for me. Washington, the state of Washington, is the only one where I've been able to find them in the store in large quantities. Some of the truck stops have them, but they're in the small bags. You got to buy 3 or 4 bags and to last you, or to last me, because I try to go through them. But sunflower seeds I use whenever I start getting a little bit droopy, and I'll pop in some sunflower seeds, and I've learned to be able to put not a handful, but 7 or 8 sunflower seeds into my mouth here, and I'm able to pick them out one at a time, put them on one side of my cheek like a chipmunk, and shell it in the middle, and eat the nut, and then put the empty shells on the other side, and I can I've developed a little skill there.
Yeah,
you
that's
certainly
talent.
have.
Yeah, that's talent for sure.
Debbie said that's talent. I was just going to say, Abraham, you should be on America's Got Talent, because I don't think it's not something I think I could do. I'll tell you.
Yeah. I've learned to be able to, 3 or 4. About 6 or 7 seeds in my mouth. I put them all on one side. I try to stay away from the salted ones. I try to get the flavored ones. I moisten them up. I suck a little bit of the flavor off, and then I'm able to move one from one side into the middle of my mouth and shell it. Put the debris on the other side and eat the nut like a chipmunk.
Wow.
And then whenever I go to, I got the other side is full of shells. I'll take my cup and I'll spit into the shells into the cup there, and I've tried to do that with, and I don't like the pistachios that are already shelled. They're no fun. I like I like the ones that got the pistachios in the shell, and I can't do them. I can't store the shells on one side of my cheek the way I do the sunflower. The shells are just too big.
Well, not only that, but you could crack a tooth, Abraham. Those pistachio shells are hard.
Whenever the one thing that I do take into consideration is whenever the pistachio nut is ripe, then the shell will split.
Oh.
But if you got one that's full and there's no crack anywhere, I try to stay away from those as much as possible. I'll pull them out because those are hard.
Yeah.
Those are hard.
Well,
and the other thing, I'll make up some trail mix, and I put all my sunflower seeds into an empty Gatorade bottle. So I got a little tray here. So I got next to me. So I got 4 trays of next to me, so I can pick a bottle up. Take whatever snack I want and put it back down, and not keep without taking my eyes off the road and not being distracted.
Yeah, well,
by looking down.
Yeah, I know you just said the most important thing there. Don't take your eyes off the road. Well, I wanted to mention, too, you mentioned masstimes.org. That is the website there. I use it all the time when I travel.
Me too.
And they have an app for the phone as well. So, Abraham, thanks for your call. Thanks for the inspiration today and for bringing up Mass Times for us, because anybody who's listening, if you travel a lot, as they say, you don't give your faith a vacation when you go on one,
That's
so
right.
There's always a church nearby, and masstimes.org or on their phone app, you'll be able to find some Catholic churches to go to. Thanks, Abraham, so much. We'll get to Angel in just a second. I want to mention before we do that, The Miracle Hunter with Michael O'Neill, Saturday, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on EWTN Radio.
This week, Michael discusses Our Lady of the Snows with Father Salvador Gonzalez. Also, they speak with Father David LaPuma about Venerable Nelson Baker. That is the Miracle Hunter with Michael O'Neill. Saturdays, 2 times, one at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and the other one at 7 p.m. in the evening, Eastern Times on EWTN Radio.
See, I knew we could do it. Because of Abraham and the masstimes.org, we were able to weave this conversation into our faith lives and our spiritual life. See how it works, folks? Okay, let's go to Angel in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on the EWTN app. Hi, Angel.
Hey, hi, guys. How are y'all doing? Happy
Good.
Friday.
How are you?
Doing great. It's hot, but we're doing great.
No bad, yeah.
My dad, bless his soul, will be deceased a year in September. But when he was working, he was a CPA in New Orleans, and he always kept in his office black licorice. And not like the black licorice whip, the little cuts of it. There was a local Italian ice cream store, candy store around the corner, Bricadas, who he would go and get these candies. And sometimes he would have the little candies that were wrapped in like a candy coating, and then the licorice would be inside. But the reason why I bring this up is obviously because of your topic, but my children who are well grown by now, and Jerry, you may remember, y'all were praying for my daughter who had Hodgkin's lymphoma. She's actually having her first child next month. So thanks for all the prayers.
Yeah.
But when my dad moved up here after Katrina to live with us, he would sometimes pick my kids up from school, and one of their memories of his car smell was black licorice. So I have the memory of black licorice when I was a child in his office, and they have the memory of his children in his car smelling like black licorice.
Angel, are you sure that wasn't one of those hanging tree scented things, just with black licorice smell?
No, I can't stand black licorice. So.
Yeah.
But he was crazy about it. He would eat them like they were candy. He would just pop them in. And one day I remember telling him, Dad, you have high blood pressure. You're not supposed to eat licorice. And he stopped. He stopped eating it.
Oh, wow.
But
I don't like
the
dark ones. I don't like the black ones either, but I love other, red, strawberry, whatever kind of flavors they have.
Well, it's interesting that you're bringing up black licorice because my dad that as well with that flavor, and I just have to tell you, I got sick one time when I was a little kid. I ate way too much. You can get sick on it. It really, I mean, it's supposed to actually be calming to the stomach and stuff, but if you eat too much, and so it took me years to get back to black licorice, but now I love it. Apparently, it's like it's coming back again. It's very much in fashion. Did you notice that, Angel? Like the stores are carrying all these different flavors now.
And it used to be when I was a child, you could only find it at very few places, and one place was this place I mentioned in New Orleans. But I think it's a very Italian thing too. I wanted to say because most people, my husband is from Finland, and he does not like licorice, so he's not going to eat it.
Well, and they even have licorice liqueurs and stuff like that. So yeah, you're spot on.
All right, thanks, Angel.
Wow. Thank you,
Jean
Angel.
in El Paso. Jean, can you do it in 15 seconds? Hi, Jean.
I sure can. My go-to snack is peanut butter and graham crackers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
I love that, except I like peanut butter and pretzels. I love peanut butter and
that
pretzels.
Too.
Yeah.
Anything with peanut butter.
I love peanut butter and honey. The honey goes so good with anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Gene, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad we got you on. We were just, you hear the music there, we were cutting it close, but thanks for joining the show today in the conversation. Anything with peanut butter goes for Gene in El Paso, Texas, Debbie.
Okay, now I'm hungry, so you can get started with your weekend now. Let's go. We're all going to be going to the candy store today. Monday is unscripted. You can bring any topic to the table, pretty much any topic, and we'll talk about it on the last weekday of July, Jerry.
Yeah, we know it's sweltering in so many places right now, so drink lots of water, stay cool. You're in our prayers here at Take Two all the time. Please keep us in your prayers. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend, and we always ask at the end of the show for the prayers of our blessed universal patron of the church, St. Joseph. God bless.
I'm Jeanette DeMello, Editor-in-Chief of the National Catholic Register, and together with Matthew Bunce and I co-host Register Radio, where